Initially you will write about others, but after some time you will understand, because it is pen, paper and your mind which is working. So automatically, you will start writing correct things. So that is how the corrections will start. Okay. After that, even if, see, all the postures, ultimately what you should be doing is, it should be done without strain. But invariably it is a learning curve, correct? So initially you make them learn what has to be learned, not the asana, the idea behind the asana. What is the idea behind the asana? Relaxation. That lift your legs 90 degree. Exhale. Slowly take your hands back, down, and then stretch. Close your eyes, back erect, neck erect, gentle smile on your face. Relax your shoulders, relax your elbows. Rest your palms on your thighs. Slowly and gently touch your index finger to the thumb. Forget all the tensions and worries and focus only on your breathing. When you inhale, your abdomen is bulging. When you exhale, your abdomen is sinking down. With each breath, you are becoming more and more relaxed. Slowly move your concentration to the nostrils. When you inhale, feel the temperature of the air. Cool air is going inside. When you exhale, warm air is gushing out. Feel the coolness and warmness of the air with inhalation and exhalation. Slowly move your concentration to the center of your eyebrows. Imagine one Omkara of any size, of any shape, of any bright color. While focusing on this Omkara, we are going to chant it 3 times. Inhale. Feel the vibrations of Pranava Omkara on your mind and body. Slowly adopt Namaskara Mudra, Omka, followed by Sahana Vavatu. Inhale. Sahana vavatu, Sahano bhunaktu, Saha viryam karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. With your eyes closed, slowly take your hands back. Hold your right wrist with the left palm. Inhale, arch your back, look up. Exhale, bend from the root of your back. Touch your forehead to the ground. Express gratitude to Mother Earth, Almighty, your parents and Guru. Slowly inhale and come up. Slowly release your hands. With few blinks, you may open your eyes. Suprabhatam. So what is today's topic? Neuroscience of hypertension and blood pressure changes. See, yoga does not treat hypertension or hypertension. Yoga treats blood pressure changes. It will stabilize the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. That is why I wrote like that. Okay. Now, what else is there on the picture? Left side. Which area of the brain is highlighted in that? Very good. Brain stem. So today I did not highlight hypothalamus, or have I? We will see. Okay. Then what is there next? Either this one. There is some sun-like thing. In the center there is hypertension and the rays are coming out. The complications of hypertension. If you are not able to see right now, we will see. Next slide, it is bigger. Then finally me doing one asana. Okay. Halasana. That is considered as one of the most important asana for hypertension treatment. Okay. Next. So this Surya has become big now. Okay. Now you can see. Tell me, what happens with hypertension?
Lots of complications.
Lots of complications. Very good. What are the complications?
Heart disease, Alzheimer's.
Stroke, Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's means what? Forgetfulness. Then vascular dementia. Okay, that is also memory loss because of small strokes. Okay, then vascular diseases. Then kidney also comes under tension because of hypertension. Kidney also fails. Then retina. Okay, it will get damaged because of hypertension. Then heart disease. And then cognitive decline means what? The clarity of thought process will go down. How many of you have hypertension in this? Have you ever felt that because of the BP you are feeling that you are not complete? Have you ever felt that? What do you feel when you have high BP? What do you feel? How did you come to know? Palpitations. Okay. Sweating. Okay. How did warmness in the body, ringing in the ear? Okay. Doctor told you? Hypertension.
No, I had it before, but now I don't know.
So how did you know that you had it
I
before?
just went for a thyroid checkup. So that time we found out my BP was high.
So doctor found out, correct? When measured, how did you find out? ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಚೆಕಪ್ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ನೋವು ವೆರಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಕಲ್ ಹೆಡೇಕ್ ಓಕೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಪಿಟಲ್ ಹೆಡೇಕ್ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ if you saw everybody's symptoms were different and many a times the checkup leads to diagnosis that your bp is high. That is why hypertension is considered as silent killer, because you saw the complications are very wide ranged complications affecting all important organs, but symptoms are very less. When the other organs get involved, the symptoms will appear of those organs. You will think that it is because of kidney or because of brain, but basically all this damage was happening by hypertension for many years. That is why it is very important to know how to control this disease. Okay, fine. Next. So fine, neuroscience has to be told, no? Correct or not? So this is the place where we will discuss. You see, that is, everybody knows now that this is brain, correct? What is that other organ? Heart. What is the other organ? Now, what is blood pressure? Pressure of the blood on blood vessel. Now blood is flowing, every second blood is flowing through our blood vessels, correct? Because of what? Pumping of the heart. And heart is pumping because of the what? Muscle. But muscle is supplied by what? Electricity what? Electronic city. Nerves. Nerve impulses. Where are those nerves coming from? Before brain, they are coming from spinal cord also, and spinal cord is connected to brain. Now there are very hi-fi terms which are written here, correct? And there is a connection with the kidney as well, because kidney does what? It will remove the toxic material from the body. Excess of salt also is removed from the kidneys. So kidney will give the sample to the nerves, and nerves will go and tell the brain that everything is all right, don't worry, don't increase the pressure. This pressure is okay. Okay, but if you eat lot of salt, kidney will become tired and it will stop responding. It will tell, I am not doing, you are not increasing my salary, only work. So I am not, then that interest of working will go down. So that is why what will happen? The signals will not go properly into the brain. So the equilibrium which was there, the normal blood pressure which was there, that is lost. And that is how the brain becomes one primary center where all these things start. Now you see other things. All these things are connected. What is written there? PVN, not PVR. PVN. Okay. So what is PVN? Paraventricular nucleus. That PVN is hypothalamus. Once again, I have to speak on hypothalamus. And this IML is intermediolateral column. This is in spinal cord. Okay. So all these people, they are involved in controlling the blood pressure in nervous system, and they are given inputs by kidney, also by blood vessels. If you see here. Okay. So blood vessel also, at the surface of the blood vessel there will be sensor. Now you know sensors that watch, it will count the heart rate and all these things. So same inside also these sensors are there, created by nature. Okay. So these sensors will give information and it will go into brain. And in the brain, there is on the surface also there is a center called as insula. And through insula it gets connected deep inside the brain also. Okay, hypothalamus, then medulla, and then spinal cord, and then through the nerves. These are all interlinked. Okay, so it means that if hypothalamus is involved, so definitely your memory is involved, definitely your emotions are also involved. And that is how, if you know when you are emotional, your BP will either rise or it may fall. Some people collapse also, no? Why? Because of sudden fall in the BP. So it means that it is not necessary that only your response will be hypertension. Some people collapse because of low BP also. Low BP is also response to emotional changes, correct? Agreed? Next. So now this one. From here the intervention by pharmaceutical industry starts. Okay, tell me, what is the normal BP? 120 by 80. So many of you might be hypertension patients since long time. So your doctor would have told you that beyond this, it is called as hypertension. So what was that number? 140 by 90. Now you tell me here what they have written. Elevated is 120 to 129. It is like that speed limit they show, no? Beyond 40 if you drive, challan will be cut. Correct? If you drive at 41 or 42 also, that speed gun will catch you. Correct? Now you see here, what is high blood pressure? 130 to 139 and 80 to 89 is hypertension stage 1. Then hypertension stage 2, 140 to 90. So previously the definition was 140 by 90. Recently it has changed to directly 120 by 80. Okay. Hypertensive crisis 180 by 120. So now if you just change this, no, these are all, I will tell you what goes inside. They will see how many, they will collect a big data. There is something called as big data, and they will see how many people are in 130 to 139 range and 180 to 89 range. If that number is very, very significant, let us name it. Let us name it as hypertension stage 1. And you require what? Medicine. Okay, next. So what are the things which happen? All of you told, no? Headache, vertigo, ringing, then fatigue and insomnia, sleeplessness. Okay, then nervousness, palpitations, anxiety you told. Then see, palpitation also is written there. Correct? Then numbness in hands and feet. How many of you have felt all these things?
Palpitation, numbness, vertigo.
Okay. So complications we saw, all these complications we already saw in that sun rays. Okay. Next. Now what are the risk factors? So can you read that?
Old age,
Old age. Okay.
high systolic blood pressure,
Okay.
obesity,
Okay.
high salt consumption,
Obesity, high salt consumption. These are all very important things. Then,
chronic renal disease,
so it is not necessary that hypertension can be only primary. It can be secondary also. Secondary means kidney is one very important contributor to the management of blood pressure. Correct? So if kidney because of some or the other reason starts failing, not necessarily because of hypertension. Kidney fails because of other reason also. What is that disease? We can take next time. Diabetes. Diabetes also causes problem in the kidney. Okay. So that can also lead to kidney failure and then ultimately hypertension. Then
diabetes mellitus,
see, came. Okay, diabetes not only is hampering the kidneys, it also hampers the blood vessels, coating of the blood vessel with sugar. So blood vessel will become hard. Okay, and then because of that the pressure will be increasing. Okay, then
Left ventricular hypertrophy.
heart. If heart becomes bigger, what it will do? It will pump with more force. Okay, then
Female sex.
female sex because of hormonal changes. Okay, then
Interfering medications and substances. The next subhead.
medications. Other medications can also cause hypertension. And substances means drugs. If you know youngsters who take cocaine or something, they are suddenly found dead and all. Why? Because they go into that previous slide, hypertensive crisis because of drug abuse, and their brains will be, hemorrhage will be there. That is why their brains will be completely blood, everything. Okay, so next.
Under that, non-steroidal anti. Should I read that?
No, it's okay. This whole list you can see later on. Not a problem.
Secondary causes. Other ones. In that, common is common and uncommon. In common, obstructive sleep apnea.
Obstructive sleep apnea. Some people have that sleep apnea, and most of the times those people will be obese. Plus, they will be having snoring. Obstructive sleep apnea people will have snoring. So snoring should not be taken as a very simple thing. It should be taken seriously. You should find the reason for your snoring and you should correct it. Okay? And yoga is one of the best ways to take care of that.
Chronic renal disease.
That we discussed.
Primary aldosteronism.
Primary,
Aldosteronism.
that is related to kidney.
Renal artery stenosis.
Same, once again kidney. Artery stenosis means by birth only it will be smaller. So kidney will get a false impression that things are slow. So kidney will send signal, send. But the lumen itself is narrow. Okay, then
Uncommon causes, pheochromocytoma,
that is adrenal gland tumor. Okay,
Cushing syndrome,
okay.
hyperparathyroidism,
Behind the thyroids there are parathyroids. Okay, that is associated with mineral management, calcium, magnesium, all these things it manages. Okay, then
aortic coarctation,
the heart pumps the blood into biggest blood vessel. What is the name of that blood vessel? It is called as aorta. So aorta also, if it is, some sort of narrowing is there, which will cause as hypertension. Okay, over.
in this slide.
Next. So we have to understand the market now. How much is the estimated by 2026? $28,797 million is hypertension market. So you make stage 1 and stage 2. Okay, no problem. Next. So these are the drugs which generally people take. Okay, I don't want to go into the details of this. You can later on aram se see it. Then these also have lots of rebound hypertension, low blood pressure, fatigue, depression, increased urination, dry cough, swelling of feet, increased levels of potassium, swelling of feet. How many of you have felt because of your medication swelling of feet? Nobody? What complication do you feel that out of that medication you have? Have you observed any time? Urination you have observed. Okay. Kidney, what is that?
The swelling comes means usually say some problem related to kidney.
No, swelling of the feet is, many reasons are there. Heart failure also can cause swelling. Kidney failure can cause full body swelling. Kidney failure causes something called as anasarca, means full body will become swollen. Okay, and the heart will generally cause lower limb swelling. Okay.
And edemas will be more, no? For the kidney.
Yeah. Full body will swell. Full body will swell. Next. So Patanjali, as usual, he knew everything, and he knew what is the cause of all these things, and that is why he gave us Patanjali Yoga Sutras. This sutra I have taken before one, but the other three are new, connecting all the other like previous sutras. Okay. What is the first one? What are the Pancha Kleshas? Klesha means obstacles. What are the Pancha Kleshas? Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha. What is avidya? Ignorance, lack of knowledge. Asmita, forgot. Ego. Raga, attachment. Dvesha, jealousy or hatred. And Abhinivesha, fear of death. Okay. So these are Pancha Kleshas. Now, what is the next one? Swara Swahi Vidushopi Samarudho Abhiniveshaha. Means, Vidusha means what? Wise man, wise people, intelligent people. Even in intelligent people, the fear of death is there. And this fear leads us to many different kinds of doctors, therapies and all these things. Correct? Agreed? Then, te prati prasavaheya sukshmaha. Means, these all, we think that these kleshas, we don't know, and that is why we consider them as very small. At a very small level also, they will be disturbing us. Even if we feel that, okay, we are knowledgeable, but there will be some corner here where you will have avidya. Even I will also have some avidya. So that point we have to find out. That asmita, that ego, we have to find out. It's a very continuous process. It is not like that once you have finished your education, or once you have finished a course, or once you have finished a lecture, it means that everything is done. It is not like that. This process of understanding the Pancha Kleshas and removing Pancha Kleshas is very sukshma. It has to be done always. Prati prasava is just a word similar to pratyahara. It has to be done at a very sukshma level, at a very understanding at a very sukshma level, and it has to be prati prasava means you have to go inwards rather than going outwards. If you try to find problem solution outwards, the problem may become bigger. If you find the solution inwards, the problem may become smaller. See, this Sanskrit, everybody will describe it in a different way. This, whatever I told, you will not find what I told in any book. It is my own understanding. So don't feel that if you agree, okay. But if you don't find in book, or if you find that our book is written something else, then don't feel that, okay, Dr. Mayur told wrong thing. I think this is my own understanding of these words. Okay. So, what is that? Sati mule tad vipako jatya ayu bhogaha. Means what? Sati means not sati of that, that is badati, okay, dirgati, okay. So this is about in the life, all these things, whatever we do, okay, in the life, whatever we do, if we are doing the karma with means mula. Mula means the root. Okay, the reason or the root behind our karma, if it is there with some intention, then we have to give the results or suffer the results of that karma here only, means in the Jatya Ayur Bhogaha, means in this, in various forms we have to suffer. Okay, Bhoga means it can be a good Bhoga also, it can be bad also. So what does that mean? Didn't you see the effects of hypertension? In various different ways people suffer. It's not necessary that one patient will have all the complications, correct? One patient will have some complication, another patient will have some other complication, depending upon how the body has responded. And what is the root behind hypertension, that needs to be found out. Then only we will be able to avoid this suffering. Understood? If you have any doubt, you ask me.
Sir, but nobody will find out why it is happening. I got hypertension because of some external things or because of you. They never said that.
That's what. The moment you start looking inwards, the moment you do pratiprasava, your problem will automatically start solving. First thing is to look inwards. That is why I tell in every lecture, after the lecture, most of the times, if you would have seen, I will be telling people to write diary. Diary is one way to make you go inwards, correct? In that, when you are writing, initially you will write about others, but after some time you will understand, because it is pen, paper and your mind which is working. So automatically you will start writing correct things. So that is how the corrections will start. Okay.
BP hereditary
BP, see, everything is hereditary, no? Your existence is hereditary. Yes or no? You came by combination of your father and mother. You look like your father and mother. Your behavior is also like your father and mother. Yes or no? So everything is hereditary. Even the sanskaras, which we tell sanskaras. Sanskara, generally, there is two words are there. There is something called as sanskara and there is something called as vasana. So the definition of sanskara is, what is defined in the books is that whatever you do in this janma and which manifests is a sanskara. Sanskara means habit, which you have developed since your childhood. Okay. Vasana means it gets transmitted from one generation to another. That is what is described in the scripture. So vasana means it is coming from the past life. Past life is nothing but your parents. Okay. That is what I understand out of past life. So what does that mean? You see, your habits will be copying of your parents. Just try to correlate. Yes or no?
From childhood, we unconsciously follow the elders who are around us.
Yes, I just recently saw one patient. That person, he was a smoker for last 25-30 years. Okay, I asked him, and he had a son who is 17-18 years old. I asked him, why did you start smoking? Because I told no, we have to find the root cause, correct? So root cause analysis is he told, because my father used to smoke. Okay, then I asked next question, does your son smoke? Because I wanted to prove him this vasana. Cigarette smoking is a vasana, no? So he told, yes sir, recently only I came to know that he started smoking. So what does it mean? That we copy our parents. It was a very classical example. Why did you start drinking? My father taught me to. Why did you start smoking? I learnt it from my father. These are bad things. Good things also people learn. My own example. I learnt from my parents. My parents learned from my grandparents. Yesterday only my son got a chocolate from school for doing excellent meditation in the class. They were teaching meditation, so he did not open eyes. He sat properly in Chin Mudra and Padmasana, so teacher gave him chocolate. Now, do you know what he did? Why I know this? The chocolate wrapper will be there, no? He crunched it and it distributed to all of us one piece. He could have eaten it, no, alone. Why he did like this? Because that crushing of the chocolate and distributing, I do. Okay. And why I do? Because my parents used to do. My brother also, whenever in childhood, my brother in his school, this chocolate distribution was too much. So whenever anybody will distribute chocolate, either he will ask that fellow whose birthday is there, one more for my brother, or if not given, then he will crush the chocolate and give. This is what we should teach our siblings, our children. Why? Sharing is caring, we tell, no? They learn the art of sharing. Chocolate sharing is just one symbol of sharing things. When time comes to share bigger things, you know, property disputes, how much people fight with each other, with your own blood you fight. Yes? There are so many things which happen over that. Recently I went to, I'm going so many places, Shidlegatta. Recently I went for expert witness as a neurosurgeon for one history of assault was there. In 2011 I had seen that patient. 2019 that summons had come to me that you have to come and give expert opinion about this patient. Then I went through the file, court file. That was property dispute case. Who has beaten whom? Brother has beaten another brother. With what? Rods and means whatever. And that fellow had a fracture, bleeding in the brain, all these things. Real brothers. For what? One piece of land. What is there not to, means either it will get cut into half pieces. Once the land gets cut in half piece, you know that the expenditure rises. Correct? All these things. When I go there, the case has gone how many years now? 8 years it has gone. Still, nobody is able to do anything on that land. That is also one problem. So we are wasting our lives in fighting. If they would have crushed the chocolate in the childhood, maybe they would not have fought. Correct? So these are very small things, but they have very high implications. This is where the neuroscience is very important. That we should know how these connections are made. Otherwise, what happens? Violence. Violence, either it will be personal violence or it will be community violence. Okay, with that, I think next.
Sir, this vasanas and sanskaras you are telling, even when the parents had a good...
Definitely, they will get transferred.
But children will have criminals.
It is, that is because of influence by the society. Parents somewhere have lost the control over children. Somewhere. Or else the external influence is much bigger than the... Now you told just like that. So once again I will tell my own children example. My son asked yesterday my wife, Mama, what is this wine? There is a wine shop on the road somewhere. So it was written wine yard or something like that. So he asked, what is this wine? Now the moment you tell that, hey, just shut up, what is going to happen? The curiosity will increase. Instead of that, my wife nicely explained what is wine, what is fermentation, what is grape juice, how from grape juice fermentation happens, what are the things, means they put some fungus in that so that it will ferment. Then from glucose, there is something called as ethyl alcohol will be formed, and there are various forms. She described beer, she described wine, she described whiskey, everything she described. Now he is flooded with knowledge. Okay. Now he knows everything. Correct? But do you know at the end of that what he told? Then my wife told about complications of drinking, and she showed him the photos that people get accidents because of this, that, and everything she showed. Then he told, Mama, I understood. When I will become big, I will, he himself told, I will not. And because we also don't have anything like that, so definitely he, with this knowledge, now his curiosity is finished. Now his curiosity is finished. Now he is not going to find out more. There is no, need to find out more. That we should know how to convey. These are very small things, but they matter a lot. Next one. Over, huh?
Oh, sir.
Over. Let us practice. So we will start with very simple exercises. Ankle rotation. Now in hypertension, everything is hyper. So what you should do is do it very slowly. Okay, as slowly as possible. Rotate clockwise very slowly. 2, 3. With every rotation think, can I do it further slower? 4, 5. Reverse. 1. Feel the movement at the ankle. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release, relax. Now left leg, same, very slowly. Every movement you should think, interlock your fingers nicely with the toes and then rotate. 1, 2, 3, slow down. 4, slow down. 5. It is not about the number of repetitions, it is about the repetitions, how they are done. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this you hold and then inhale. Try to touch your knee to the chest. Try to keep your back erect. Exhale. Try to just press, not forcefully, just allow it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 5 rounds over, huh? Anybody counted? Last round. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Relax. Right leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In hypertension, generally the standing asanas which are done, forward bending and all these things, they are not done. Mostly you will find asanas which are either sitting or lying down position. Mostly lying down also it will be supine, lying down on your back, because we don't want to strain too much. Okay, inhale,
Doctor, is that only in case
exhale.
or
See, it depends how the patient is responding. Initially, you should allow them to learn to relax. The idea is that deep-rooted learning of relaxation and doing it with the intention of relaxing has to be done. If that is learnt, after that, even if, see, all the postures, ultimately what you should be doing is, it should be done without strain. But invariably, it is a learning curve, correct? So, initially you make them learn what has to be learnt, not the asana, the idea behind the asana. What is the idea behind the asana? Relaxation. That needs to be learned. After that, you make them do any asana, there will be no problem. Because ultimately what is going to happen, once the student or the patient has learnt the art of relaxation, automatically the BP is going to come down. So only thing is you have to change the sequence of teaching the asana or learning the asana. That's all. Okay. Inhale. Exhale. Last round. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Relax. Okay. Now, what is the time?
650?
6:50. Okay. So we will smoothly do some asanas. Okay. First one is Baddha Konasana. How many of you people can do? Just try to do. Inhale and exhale. Fold your right leg. Open. Inhale and exhale. Fold your left leg. Open it up. Try to bring your ankles as close to the body as possible. Inhale, look up. Exhale and try to bend forward. If it is possible, try to do, not a problem. If not possible, how much ever you can bend, it's okay. Bring your hands above your head. Try to touch your chin to the floor if possible. Now slowly inhale and come up. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Release your left leg. Inhale and exhale. Release your right leg. Now, Janu Sirsasana comes in this also. But before that, we will just do one relaxing asana, which is Virasana. Inhale and exhale. Fold your right leg. If you see, it has to come by the side of your hip. The ankle has to come by the side of your hip. Inhale and exhale. Fold your left leg. Those who have knee problem may find it difficult. So if you are not able to do, it's fine, not a problem. So this is called as Virasana. Okay. In this you can do meditation also. Okay. So whenever you are sitting in these kind of meditative asanas, what you have to do is close your eyes and then try to breathe slowly and deeply. If you are not comfortable, it's fine. Okay. You can go into Vajrasana. If you are not in Virasana, you are not comfortable, you can go into Vajrasana also. These are all the meditative asanas. They have their own beautiful effect on mind, and because of that there will be relaxation. Okay. But initially what will happen? Your attention will go towards knee, calf, ankle, so pain. So that is why it is called what is called in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Sthiram Sukham Asanam. So what is Sukham for you? That only you should do. But if you want to learn it, then Prayatna Shaitilyam means you have to, with practice, you have to learn to relax. Shaitilyam means relax. Okay, and Prayatna means practice. You have to practice, then only it will come. Without practice, it will not come. So when pain happens, what you should do? Should try that, okay, can I relax in this moment and can I try to hold it for a while? Can I? If you can't, it's okay. Today you might be able to do it for 10 seconds. Tomorrow you may be able to do it for 20 seconds, like that. Okay? So now, once again go into Virasana, if possible. Not possible, it's okay. It requires some practice. I can give you one small tip. You raise yourself, take your calf muscles out. I did not do it, but for the beginners I am teaching you. Take your calf muscles out. But for taking your calf muscles out, you have to learn to relax your calf muscles. See, my calf muscles, I am able to move like anything. Correct? Relax and take your calf muscle out and then sit. Now you see the kind of comfort some people might be feeling. Are you feeling? Are you feeling that comfort of sitting? Because your calf muscle was getting pinched. It was, hey, why are you doing like this? So now your calf muscles are telling, okay, thank you very much. You gave me a proper respect, and that is why I will allow you to sit. Okay. So this is one technique through which you can sit for longer times. Okay. Fine. Now slowly inhale and exhale. Release your left leg. Inhale and exhale. Release your right leg. Okay. Janu Sirsasana. See, these are all preparatory asanas for one ultimate asana which I want to teach you is Paschimottanasana. Okay. When we will go to Paschimottanasana, I will tell you why. Okay. So inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale, release your left leg. Inhale and exhale, fold your right leg. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale, release your right leg. Inhale and exhale, fold your left leg. Now this one you keep over your right thigh. What are we going to do? Ardha Padma Paschimottanasana. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. In this only those who can try doing Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. As I had told you last time also, that first right side of the stomach needs to be pinched because of the movement of the bowel. Okay, so you can do like this. Okay, inhale, come up, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Release your left leg. Inhale and exhale. Fold your right leg. Try to put your ankle where your umbilicus is. That automatically, if your ankles are flexible, they will get lodged into the groove here. That groove will take care of this big foot. It will go properly so that your movement will become better. Okay? So inhale, exhale. Inhale, come up, exhale. Now you can do Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale, release. So today I will teach you one more variation. Inhale and exhale, fold your left leg like this. Last time I taught you Marichi Asana, no? Correct? Like this.
Sorry, if there is a history of any fracture on ankle,
If you have any fracture on ankle,
that is the Helen Malolia.
now you have.
No, not now. Earlier.
Early you forget about it. Huh?
Sorry.
I am making people who are having rods and screws and all, they are doing yoga.
No, this is
Huh? Do it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
the knee should touch the other knee. By folding,
Should be close.
should be close.
Inhale and exhale. Release your left leg. Inhale and exhale. Fold your right leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Release your right leg. Now finally, Paschimottanasana. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. How are you feeling? Release. Relax. One more asana we will try. Sitting, Padmasana. Inhale and exhale, fold your right leg. Inhale and exhale, fold your left leg. Able to do? Okay, those who are able to do can try bending forward. Inhale slowly and come up. See, the thing is that if you bend forward, there is a very simple variation of Yoga Mudrasana. But ideal Yoga Mudrasana is this one. Exhale. So that is why if you saw, I taught you so many variations, half thing. Once you do half thing, slowly full thing will come. Okay. So if you are not able to do this, at least after, if you reach Padmasana, you try to do this. Okay. So that will help you to, if you are not able to do full Padmasana, you do Ardha Padmasana, like that. Okay. So release and relax. Padmasana over. How many of you were able to do? 1, 2, only yoga therapists. Okay. So sitting we will finish now in this.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಬೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಸನ ಸರ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಬೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು.
Howdu, correct. That complementary is okay. You can do it, but you can do complementary in other position also. Not a problem. Okay. So in the lying down position, lie down on your back. In this, what we are seeing in the hypertension, forward bending in standing you don't do, but in sitting and all these things you have to do. And if you see, this is a forward bending. Halasana is also forward bending in supine position. Okay. Lie down on your back. Slowly inhale and exhale. Fold your both the legs. Hold your ankles. And then slowly inhale and lift your hips up. That is Setu Bandha. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last round. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Relax. Are you interested in doing halasana?
Yes, sir.
Want to do try? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So inhale and exhale. Take your hands above your head. Now inhale. lift your legs 90 degree. Exhale. Slowly take your hands back, down, and then stretch. After sufficient time, you can take your hands once again up. Slowly allow your body to roll once again back on the floor. Inhale. With exhalation, slowly release your legs down. Release and relax.
So I can't lift the leg from there. I have to give support to the hip when lifting the buttocks.
Correct. So for that, you need to learn this Setubandha Asana. Okay. Then Setubandha Asana will make your this thing stronger. Okay. Then you should do Dhanurasana, Bhujangasana. All these asanas will make your spine stronger. Then what you learn is doing Sarvangasana. In Sarvangasana, initially support, then without support. So automatically it will give you that kind of confidence to do this. Okay. So this was Halasana. Okay. These are all very, very important asanas which will stimulate your adrenal glands and your kidneys to work efficiently. Also, obviously, it is related to your nervous system also, because you are controlling your body and the mind together. So what is going to happen? This will all overall maintain the blood pressure. Okay. Now we will do 1 or 2 pranayamas. Okay. So for pranayama, you can sit in, ladies, Siddha Yoni Asana, gents, Siddhasana. For gents, left leg first, and for ladies, right leg first. The left leg ankle will touch the perineum. Okay. Fine. If you erect your spine, that area will continuously touch the pelvic region. Okay. So back erect, neck erect. We'll do Nadi Shuddhi. Nadi Shuddhi is very important for hypertension, and Kumbhaka should not be done in hypertension. Only Puraka and Rechaka. Okay. 1:2. Try 1:2. If you inhale for 3 counts, you exhale for 6 counts. So Nasika Mudra you can adopt. Okay. Nasika Mudra is this one with right hand. Left hand Chin Mudra. Relax your left hand nicely. Bring your hand very close to the body and then slowly exhale from the left nostril. Start inhalation through left and then exhale through right. Inhale through right, exhale through left. 5 rounds you do on your own. Very good. Slowly you can open your eyes. How are you feeling? You are able to do 1:2 breathing? Yes? Everybody? Very good. Now, one more pranayama is there which is called as Ujjayi pranayama. Okay, that is also very, very useful for almost all problems, not only hypertension. Okay, some people tell that it has to be done with Jalandhar Bandha. Some people just do it like that. There is one way of doing is that making sound. Another way of doing is just observing your inhalation. Okay, so we will try to do with sound so that you see what happens. Okay, and I like to do it with Jalandhar Bandha. Okay, there are many different concepts, so it depends upon how you do it. Okay, not a problem. So just see how I am doing it. Inhalation sound. Sound should be made while inhalation. It cannot come in easily. If it does not come, don't worry. Don't try to force yourself into this. Just observe what is happening when you are inhaling into your this voice box. Slowly you will learn to contract while inhalation. Generally, sound we produce on exhalation. Sound has to be produced on inhalation. Even if it is a very small sound, it is fine. Okay, don't worry about that. Do 3 or 5 rounds and then come up. If you feel any friction, if you feel any burning, just leave it. For all, even for cancer also, this is very, very useful. Like that. some people tell Jalandhar Bandha, some people do it straight also. But if you do Jalandhar Bandha, it is more effective. Okay. So with this, I think we will stop today. Huh? Ideally, after all these things, relaxation, full relaxation has to be done, DRT and all these things, deep relaxation. It depends upon which, from where you start, means whom you are following. Okay, simple Shavasana with only observing your muscles and relaxing your muscles is also sufficient. If you want to do DRT, you can do DRT. If you don't want to do DRT, also it is fine. If you want to do Yoga Nidra after that, you can do Yoga Nidra after that. But idea is to go into deep relaxation. That's all. Abnormal relaxation, deep relaxation. Okay, slowly release your legs. And then relax. We'll adopt Namaskara Mudra. Omkara followed by Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Inhale. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. With your eyes closed, take your hands back, hold your right wrist with the left palm, inhale and arch your back. Exhale and bend from the root of your back, touch your forehead to the ground. Express gratitude to Mother Earth, Almighty, your parents and Guru. Slowly inhale and come up. Slowly release your hands, rub your palms against each other to generate heat or positive energy. Keep your palms on your eyes, head, neck, shoulder, arms, forearms, chest, abdomen, thighs and the legs. With few blinks, you may open your eyes. Dhanyavad.